Okay, so one of the things I wanted to talk about was destinies. So when you are born, and if you believe in this sort of thing, if not, this isn't for you, but if you believe in certain contracts or agreements that you had to learn the lessons that you need to and do whatever it is, or live out whatever destiny you need to in this lifetime, when you're given specific gifts, talents, and abilities, that which you get through your DNA, it's information that's passed down to you. So all the people before you, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, and any of your ancestors, they passed down to you certain gifts, talents, and abilities so that you could use them in this lifetime, in this reality. And when it comes to other people trying to intervene, they'll try to block, stop, or change whatever destiny that you have already scripted for your life, whatever's meant to be for your DNA. You are privy to certain information or downloads. If you're doing the work on yourself, you're learning the lessons, you're not doing harm to other people, or you're not trying to. We all make mistakes, and that's part of learning and growing, okay? I'm not saying that everybody's perfect. No one is technically perfect, and it's obviously in the eye of the beholder what they consider to be perfect anyway. What I'm saying is that if anybody tries to alter or change what it is meant for you to do in this lifetime, whether it be a speaker, a healer, somebody that is service to others, or if you're like an architect, or if you're a painter, a drawer, a singer, something that you do specifically that's just in you, that lights you up from inside out. Nobody can take that away from you. The only person that has ruling over yourself is yourself. So if you decide to give up on your path, or if people beat you down, that's the whole idea of test itself, how you're going to react to other people when they mistreat you or mishandle you in a certain way. And unfortunately, there are going to be a lot of people that have been hurt on their life path journeys, and a lot of people that have been beat down, and they choose not to go on their life journeys, and instead they kind of almost like a pirate or a thief, they kind of just want to take from other people without doing the work. That doesn't always work, especially when you're minding your own business. Even if you're not fully tapped in, there are other energies around you, and good entities as well as the shadow side aspect, that are there to aid you and help you, because they're going to benefit as well. If you believe that the past, present, and future all coexist, what we're doing is we're healing bloodlines, and we're healing any of the unlearned lessons so that we can move forward, so that we get into the next phase of whatever it is for our conscious state, and we learn more. So it's like an ascension, and you step up every level each time you learn something new or you break a cycle. Now, a lot of this is going around, and it's becoming less taboo, the whole idea of breaking cycles, like the generational curses and the stuff that's been passed down again and again and again. This is from people sweeping things under the rug, not acknowledging certain things, letting their ego get in the way of acknowledging and admitting certain things to themselves, like what their part in it is for whatever happens. So let's say there's a situation and it's out of your control, and other people are mistreating you or something like that. You do the best that you can to rise above it, and instead of inflicting that on another person, you learn the lesson and you try to handle it with a proper demeanor and integrity and grace. So if you learn a lesson, the next time you get in a situation like that, instead of reacting with emotion, you have control, you master your emotions, which is something I believe should be taught young. It's very beneficial for the next generations to learn early how they can manage their emotions, which would mean that the chemical balance in their brain would be a lot more harmonized. It would be a lot more regulated, and they would be less likely to fall into the category of having a mental ailment or a mental disability, that which we have control over, so our own emotions. There's going to be a lot of factors that play into it, like what we consume, what we're exposed to, and the amount of trauma we've been through. However, when we learn how to manage our emotions, then we can control our actions outwardly. And so get back onto the topic of what I'm talking about. There's a lot of people that understand this. They understand how energy works. They understand how gifts and abilities work. And what they'll try to do is embody another person's signature, like their blueprint and their authenticity, like who they are, and they'll try to mimic and copy. But to a certain extent, if your vibrational frequency is low, they'll be allowed to kind of siphon that energy off you and use that to their advantage, which I don't believe is fair. But it's up to us to stand in our own authenticity, our own light, our own energy, and embody who it is that we are. So even more so, taking the time to go in hermit mode and learn more about ourselves, learn more about our ancestry and everything that we have passed down to us, gives us the advantage of knowing what's to be next, especially if learning about our past history and family history, and knowing where there have been certain patterns and certain cycles that have repeated again and again and again. If we acknowledge those and we break the cycles, that means our behavior, which we've controlled now through understanding and getting the clarity and closure, now when we make the next judgment call or the next let's say chess move or something like that, it won't be in a destructive manner, and you would have healed that aspect of yourself. So now you become almost like, I wouldn't say invincible, but the more you do it, the more you learn about yourself and heal the past trauma and the triggers that we have that usually stem from some sort of emotional aspect, the more we can learn to make better judgments and better decisions in our life so that that doesn't happen. And this whole thing does help heal ourselves as well as the bloodline. So if you're ever curious what your destiny is, ask yourself first if you need to take some time away from other people, if you maybe need to give yourself a moment to do the introspection and accountability and the healing work, if you need to go on a retreat or you need to take some time, or maybe even ask for professional advice and get somebody that's going to maybe analyze it from a third party kind of view so that you can do more insight and deep look within yourself so that you can learn what to do next. And hopefully this helps you and you get a better understanding so that you get like a viewpoint on what it is that you really should be pursuing in your life. Because if you're in a job you don't like, your body will tell you, your brain will tell you. If you are not doing what you're passionate about, and I understand it's easier said than done, and in this day and age, the matrix that we're in, the systems that we're in is set up to have us all kind of like slaves. And I hope you can agree that none of us deserve to be a slave, especially not to some form of system that those that didn't want to do the inner healing got to dictate and make decisions for the rest of us. So definitely do your healing work, your shadow work, do whatever you can, find out what you really enjoy doing. And as you start to embody your authentic energy, your blueprint, your signature, things are going to start to synchronize. Even things around you are going to start to clear up a little bit more. Pathways, doorways are going to be open. The opportunities will be provided for you. The more you're on your path and the more you're on your in your north node and on the right way for you, the more things will be a little bit more smooth and easy and not so bumpy. Because a lot of the times when we're not in our north node or we're doing something that maybe we shouldn't, the thing is that the universe itself, or if you want to call it God, whatever you believe in, will test us and put us in situations so that it can redirect us and recalculate us and put us back on the right path. Even if that means having towers or certain things happen to us that are not so favorable and maybe even, catastrophic in our lives, so that we're guided to a different pathway. And unfortunately, with the way the system's set up, a lot of the times people are placed in a scenario or situation, or even in a relationship or whatever you want to call it, so that they learn the lessons that they need to, and then they can move forward. All right. So write your comments down below, any experiences that you've had in your personal life, anything that you've went through that maybe put you back on the right path. And then as soon as you were on the right path, you knew this was the right thing. You felt it. Your intuition told you that this is now right. Maybe what you were doing before, you kind of knew, but you didn't listen until this very point. And nobody can take that away from you. Nobody could try to walk in your shoes. If anybody tries to siphon from you, you can say it out loud, return to sender immediately, for them to learn their own lessons here in the 3D. I understand that I'm being hit with certain energy right now, or projected onto, and this is not who I truly am. These were ideas placed on me, and they were projected onto me by unhealed people, and that's not who I truly am. That's not really what I want to do. Let's say you grew up with a bunch of people that are thieves, and that's all they did was take from people or step on people just to try to embody that and use that energy to manifest wealth in their lives, and it's all about the money. If that's not for you, you know what your true purpose is. Let's say you just want to do art, or you just want to be a singer, or you're a musician, and that's your peaceful path, and just stick to it the best you can. If you still need a side job, that's understandable. Everybody needs to afford, but understand that nobody can take from you what is your birthright. Nobody can steal that from you. If they've forfeited their cards, if they forfeited on the table, if they chose to do a different path that's not for them, and they gave up on their gifts, talents, and abilities, and then they want to come and tear you down or tarnish you or try to steal from you your place, they will have to go through all the negative karma that is meant, or that you've already been through and survived and have passed the test on your own. They will have to now go through that. If that's what they truly desire, they can't just step in your shoes. They will need to go through all the things that you went through in order to even come close to your authenticity, who you truly are, in your own thumbprint or blueprint, so to speak, your own energetic vibrational frequency and your signature. Nobody can take that from you, okay? So if you're struggling right now, just understand it may not be the path that you're supposed to be on. What adjustments can you make right now in your capacity? What adjustments can you make to make it more easy for yourself, or rearrange certain things, or maybe change certain things, whether that be habits, location, people around you. Set your boundaries high, because you love and respect yourself, and you do understand how much you bring to the table and how very important you are, okay? Do the best you can. I love you. Take care of yourself, and hopefully this helps.